Hello everybody, good day to you. Welcome back. I'm glad you guys are here. I know, I'm super glad to be here. This is a 2006 Ford Mustang GT 4.6 liter. Customer states check engine light. We have had this vehicle here before, long ago. It had a check engine light last time. It had some aftermarket Amazon O2 sensors in that were faulty. I confess, I threw this on the scan tool yesterday and found it has a P0440 Evap system small leak code, and that is the cause of our check engine light. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna bring this thing in. I'm going to bust out the Redline smoke tester machine. I bought this thing like 3 months ago, and I have never had an opportunity to use it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to plug the Evap system in, or the Evap smoke machine in. We're going to plumb the evaporative system. What that system is it's designed to recover gasoline vapors from the fuel tank, pull them into the engine using engine vacuum, and then it will reburn those vapors. That way they do not escape into the atmosphere. What is Troy staring at? Hey, we're watching you. Watch us. We see you. Anyway, let's go ahead and pull this thing in. I'm gonna get it on the rack, and we're gonna smoke the system and see what's causing this leak and not causing this check engine light. So stay tuned, because this is gonna be a very good video. Happening the hood. Gravity. Rounding the corner of death with ease. This thing's got a very nice turning radius, no problem. Just pull it in on the lift over here. Scooch it on up. All right about here looks good. We're on our center of gravity. Yeah, I'm a little turned sideways. I mean, let me try this one more time. I'm a little off center here. I could tell from the angles of my lift arms there, or my lift posts. That's pretty good. All right, parking the auto, powering down for now. Let's go bust out the smoke machine after we pop it in the hood. See what we've got going on down here. Racing stripes. Mustang. There we go. 4.6 liters of Ford V8 power. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and toss the scan tool in here. We'll get that thing powered up and plugged in. Let's see, OBD2 connector, where are you? There you are. Right here, scan tool, powering on. Beep. All right, let's let that thing come to life. We'll key it on a little bit, and let's go to the closet and fetch our smoke testing machine. Oh, there we are. There we go. That's the box with all the adapters. Right here, that's our smoke machine. It's going to require some shop air. It's going to require 12 volts of DC power, and there's a few adapters to connect to our systems. Oh no! My lubricant has leaked. That's not okay. All right, well, that's not as bad as I thought it could have been. It didn't leak that much, but now I know that can't sit inside of there. Anyway, this thing has already been filled with the fluid. This thing is basically just a very large vaporizer. You put the fluid inside of the containment vessel, you power it on, it's got a heating element inside. That heating element will vaporize that fluid, which is essentially mineral oil, baby oil, and it'll turn it into a very rich, thick, white smoke. And as I plumb that white smoke into the evaporative system, it's going to fill up the top of the fuel tank, all the lines, the valves, etc. And then I will look around with a flashlight wherever I see the smoke coming from. That component is our leak. We can replace leaking component, and then go from there. Alrighty, now we're going to take a look at this system from the very beginning. Right here at the intake manifold, there is a little vacuum port. That guy disconnected. Come here. I want to disconnect this because I'm going to tap into the system down there at the purge valve. See that little green cap? That's where I want to access the system. This is going to require more effort than I was prepared. There we go. Don't want to break that off. That would be bad. Anyway, I'm going to tap into the system right down here at this little cap. That's our test port. And I removed that because if this valve leaks on this side, I'm going to get some smoke coming out up here at that valve. So we're going to start from well, the very start, the beginning point of this Evap system, and we'll inspect up here with everything we can see first, and then we'll move back to the rear and then ultimately to the fuel tank and the gas cap until we locate something that resembles a leak. Come here. You know, I bet if I just put the camera down and used both hands, I could do things more effectively. Anyway, so this thing's plugged in. Let's go ahead and finish setting up the smoke tester. We're gonna need the battery for our 12-volt supply. So, yeah, that's crust-o-matic. Need to clean that off again. Let's clip this guy out right here, and then we need to go fetch the shop air to supply the air pressure to the machine here. Hey. Steal that from Troy. Haha. He's doing valve cover gaskets on a 5.3. A Chevrolet, an LS, a Monte Carlo. Okay, let's connect our air supply right here and go ahead and power the machine on. The red indicator indicates that we are making smoke. Turn the valve up. Let's see here. Okay, that's off. That's on. We don't appear to have a huge leak, but there is some flow that is occurring. So, let's take a look here visually. Nothing out of that side. This vent should be closed. This purge solenoid should be closed because it's powered off and it is not running. So, let's go out back. We will we'll check the fuel tank. Let's open this guy up. Oh no, it's locking. Need the ignition keys. Come here. Let's pull this thing off real quick, like. Take a look at the gas cap. Very common for gas cap seals to cause evap system leaks, especially aftermarket fuel caps. How do I get you to come open? What is this? Ah, come out. There we go. Okay, that seal looks okay. I'm gonna leave this off for now until I see smoke coming out of that, then we'll seal it back up. Here, back up front, let me pop this off real quick just to make sure we're getting good smoke. Yep, sure are. Okay, plug that back in. Let's pick the car up and take a look at the underneath carriage and see if we can't see any smoke elsewhere in the system. But before I do that, I want to go ahead, I'm going to key this thing on. Let's turn the climate control off so it doesn't kill the battery. We're going to pull the scan tool out because we need to access special functions and command those solenoid and vent valves open and closed. So we'll set this thing down right here. Let's go into engine real quick and get this thing prepped. Functional tests, that's what we want. Evap system, output controls, that's what we want. We want to take over control of the onboard systems in the car. So we're coming down, vent solenoid, it's canister vent solenoid, and there should be a purge solenoid here somewhere. Maybe not, but the vent is good. We have to close the vent at the fuel tank also. It could potentially just be leaking out of an open vent. So let's go ahead, turn that off. Okay. All right, so we're still not seeing any smoke showing up at the fuel tank, which tells me for some reason we're not getting fuel from the smoke machine through the evap solenoid back to the tank. So let's come back up here. Well, we are back up here. Let's take a look at this purge solenoid and make sure this thing is functioning. So I've backed out of the vent. We may have skipped ahead too far. The vent is the one out back, and it doesn't have a listing for a purge, so I think it's going to be the vapor management valve. Maybe that's what they call it, the EM or EVMV valve. Let's go in and access control of that valve and see if that's the correct one. So what I'm going to do here is, let's see if I can catch all this in one frame. I'm going to go ahead and select this thing to on and off position. Let's turn it off. And I'm hearing a click right here. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can't feel it with my phalanges. All right, let's see here. I've got a finger on it. I can feel it clicking. Tell you what, let's get a visual. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the connector. We'll put a meter on it. That way we can see that it's trying to actuate. Because you guys can't feel it, but you'll be able to see results off of a meter. Let's try that instead. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. power up the meter. We're on 12 volts DC. 2 leads, positive and ground, and here's our connector. I will just back probe this guy with some paper clips. Just put those in the pins. We're not gonna shove the pins in and like spread them out. We're just setting them in there. No worries. What's up, dude?
Torque's big for a spark plug.
22 foot-pounds of torque.
Okay.
Yes. Connecting the leads to the leads on the meter. Look at there, we've already got voltage, so it is actuating that valve. Let's turn it off and see what happens here. Interesting. Hang on, what is this? Off. That's odd. I hear the thing clicking when it's commanded on and off, but the meter is not reflecting it. I wonder if it has to have a load on it. Okay, let's put a load in the circuit here and then see if we have an effect. All right, here, take a look. I went in and stuck a part number 194 light bulb in there, and now with a load on the circuit, it seems to be responding. Watch this. We'll turn it on, light on, turn it off, light off. So that tells me that the circuit is functioning as designed. However, when we are plugged into the actual valve, let's click that guy on, we're not getting any smoke out of either side of that valve, I think, because it's not coming out back. So what we're gonna do, we'll turn this valve back on. I think I heard it. Yep, I hear the valve. We have smoke flowing. Let's just verify that again real quick. Come here, smoke. There's our smoke flow. But we don't have any smoke coming out of this end. And let me reach down and disconnect the line down to the fuel tank. And we'll see if we've got smoke there. There we go. Come here. Okay, the line's disconnected and that valve is not flowing in either position, whether it's in the on position or the off position. We have no vapor management valve flow. So something's wrong with this valve. It sounds pretty weak. It does not have flow. I'm gonna go ahead and condemn that valve and then we will repeat the testing procedure. So the smoke is now turned off. Let me go ahead and pull my machine real quick, get this disconnected. Come here. We'll set that aside for now. Disconnect our electronical connector once again. Unplug E, plug U, and then we've got the one more line here. This is the one that runs up to the intake manifold right over there. Let's, come out, you. There's a bunch of dirt in this connector. It doesn't want to disconnect. No worries. We'll pull it all the way out. Come here, valve. Take that apart on the bench. So this guy right here, this is our faulty unit. I'm gonna go ahead and order another one that's formerly called a purge valve, but Ford's calling this one something else. But that valve is not flowing, and since this valve is not flowing, the evap system cannot do what it's supposed to do, and it's kicking our check engine light on and throwing trouble codes. So let me get one of these things ordered. We'll toss the new one in and then we'll verify function of the system after that. Alrighty, we've had a delivery. I've got a new purge solenoid valve. Let's get this thing snapped onto its bracket right here. It was the only one in town, the only one in existence, the only one in the network. And oh no, there's a difference. It doesn't have the port on it for me to test with the smoke machine. Where's the old valve at? Yeah, look at here. This one's got the little green cap on there, and that one did not. It should not affect the function of the purge valve. We'll just have to test it in a different manner. So what I'll do, we can go ahead and plug this thing in electronically again. We'll go back to the scan tool and actuate it. And what I'll do is just plumb smoke into it. Click that back on. I'll pump the smoke in right here. Okay, let's reach back in. We're gonna key this thing back on. I had it shut down while we were waiting so I wouldn't kill the electron storage containment unit. Anyway, let's fire the smoke machine back up. Red light means we're making smoke. Take our adapter off, and there we go. Hang on, let's get some contrast. Can't see, there it is, there's our smoke. So we're gonna plumb that back into that tube. That's pumping smoke directly into the valve. All right, so we're now back into the scan tool. We have access to the system. Let's go over here, let's check the valve. We've got smoke being produced, and we have no flow. The little ball is at the bottom of the gauge there, see that? So what I'll do, smoke's going to the valve. Valve is closed. Let's go ahead and actuate this valve. Begin actuating now. Okay, the valve is off. Actuating now. Valve is on, I heard it click. And let's give it a second. You should see some smoke coming out of that bottom port. Come on, smoke. Don't make a liar out of me. We're waiting. There we go. Now we've got some flow. It took a minute. Okay, so we've got flow coming out. Now this line right here goes back to the fuel tank. So what we will do, I'm gonna leave this thing commanded on and clip that line back in, and we'll go ahead and lift this thing up and we'll check the rest of the system for leaks. Real quick, let's take a look at our valve, see how we've got some flow now. That valve is now flowing. We've got plenty of smoke rolling through. Let's go back, hit the up button, moving on up. Let's go take a look at the bottom of the car, and we will look for additional leaks at that point. I don't think we're going to find one because we found a faulty valve right at the beginning of the system, but you never know. All right, down here on the bottom side, this is the driver's side of it, and oh, there we go. Right here, one of these three lines, I think it's this big one there, that is the Evap system lines, and that's gonna run all the way back under this shield. I see nothing that's leaking. We lost sight of it above the fuel tank. Let's see, it's coming out. There it is right there, that silver line. Up and over the axle. Then it's running down back here to our vapor system, and it's connected right here. Let's go ahead and pop this line off and see if we have smoke back here. And we do. Okay. We're gonna click that back on. So the vapor system is charged with some of the smoke. I don't see anything leaking from this vapor canister. This is good. Let's check, see if we get any coming out of the fuel tank here. No, not yet. Nope, not yet. Here, back to the scan tool one more time. I'm gonna go ahead and open, there it is. I need to open the vent solenoid because I think, oh, close the vent solenoid. There we go. Let's see what we're doing here. Any smoke? That's a negative. No smoke just yet. Let's wait a minute and see if it comes out. Still waiting. The vent is closed. You know what? Let's go ahead and just check the vent solenoid real quick. Let's make sure we have some flow going on in our machine up here. And we do have flow. Okay. Let's go back. Where's my smoke at? Well, it could be filling up the tank, so let's open that valve and see if it flows out of the vent. That'll at least tell us if the vent is working or not working. And that's our vent solenoid right there. So, oh yeah, there we go. We are flowing smoke at the vent. See it right up there? That's the vent tube. Let's go ahead and close it again, just to make sure that thing seals appropriately, or properly, or properly, appropriately. Vent closed. Back down below. Let's see what it does, and we are no longer flowing at that vent. Very good. Okay, so we know that both vents, or both solenoids, this one and the one up front, are now functioning as designed. They both open. They both close when commanded. And I'm assuming it's just taking a while to give me some smoke out of this, because there's volume inside the tank that needs to be filled. Either way, at this point, we have conducted a successful repair. Let's go ahead and let this thing down. Mustang coming down, all the way down. All right, it's been a few minutes. We're still not getting smoke out of the fuel filler cap. I'm not very concerned about it because all that really is there for is to put fuel in it. We've confirmed that both vents are operating as designed, so I'm gonna stop wasting my my solution here and power this machine down. I believe we have a confirmed kill on this one. I need to go ahead and plug in the rest of our goodies here. Let's unplug. Oh, we're still making smoke. Ew. I got smoke fluid on me. Let's go ahead and we're gonna unplug everything, get this disconnected, reconnect all of our other components here. We'll plug in that rear line, click that guy in, there we go. Okay, that's good to go. Let me close this out. Don't need that anymore. There we go, and let us restart the engine real quick. What I'm gonna do, there we go. I'm gonna go in, clear the codes, clear all codes, read by code scan. Again, we had a P0440 Evap system performance out of range, and we also had a P0171 fuel system lean. Now, since there was a lean code, we're gonna go in and check out our fuel trims real quick. Let's recheck the current code, see if anything is stored or showed back up since the restart. I did not want that. Okay, OBD2 system checks incomplete. That P1000 is there just because I reset all the trouble codes. Let's go into data real quick. Key on, engine running, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's pull up our fuel trims to make sure that those are in line. We're looking for plus or minus 10 away from 0. I believe they will range all the way up into the 30s, but we're looking for something close to zeros, especially on long terms. Oh, look at that. Yeah, long-term fuel trim, bank 1 and 2, we're at 0 and -1. This is right on the money. We're perfect here. O2s are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, let's let this thing come up to temp. We'll recheck it in just a moment. In the meantime, I'll finish disconnecting the machinery. Get this stuff out of the way. Removing you. Ooh, that's hot. It's a little warm to the touch. I know. Here, I'll just set this down over here to cool off. Put you away later. I feel like this video is kind of short, so let's top it off with a little bit of pouring things. We got some blue water. We'll do the blue water refill. And I think I'll do something about that corrosion over there. Oops, it's full. Didn't need much blue water. Get on there. Stay on there. There we go. Got to point the words forward too. All right, went over to the closet, busted out the NOCO battery service canisters, corrosion preventative and cleaner. That's the one. Available on Amazon through my link in the description down below. Shameless self-promotion. If you buy it, I get a cut. That's the way it works. Affiliate marketing and whatnot. Plus it's good stuff too. Anyway, I'm gonna give this a couple minutes to foam around and break up some of that corrosion. We can get after it with a like a scrubby wire brush. Let's recheck our fuel trims while we're here. Scrolling back down. Heaters, O2s, long term, short term. All right, so we're hanging out -3, -4. The rear O2s have come alive. Short terms, slightly in the negative. Yeah, we're in good shape. That's a good to go repair. Park this guy right in there for now. Beautiful. All right, our foam has unfoamed itself. Let's pick some of this nasty out of here. Get rid of that buildup, that corrosion. We'll give it one more spray, and I'll throw some cleaner or protectant on there. There we go. Let's see here. Back to the cleaner. One more application of the foamy action. It foams, so you know it's good. Very nice. All right, the bubbles are starting to stop here. Let's give it a rinse with some auxiliary blue water. Look at all that nasty. Look at that. Much more better air. It's beautiful. Okay, a little bit of air pressure. It's gonna blast away any residual corrosion that's in there. And it's gonna dry the surface. That way I can apply some protectant and prevent future corrosion from occurring. It's yellow, so you know it's good. This was heavily corroded, so I'm going to lay this on extra thick. It's corroded enough where I saw some rust. That's not good. There we go. Put that thing back where it goes. This is good. Alright guys, we're letting this thing down. That's about going to be a wrap for this particular Mustang. I've done all that I need to do. Check engine lights off. Code is cleared. We solved the evaporative fuel tank emissions system leaking problem. That is no longer an issue. Again, lights off. Let's double check that light one more time. We have no check engine light. Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you guys that this car had 51,413 miles on the odometer. Forgive me for my failure to maintain protocol. I'll do better next time. Anyway, we're all done. I'm closing this thing up. We're backing it out. Vehicle complete. As always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to let me know about that by tapping that like button down below. Drop me a comment or two while you're down there. And most importantly, do not forget to have yourselves a great day. See you guys later. In the transmission, in the Mustang, in the video. Alright, Mustang. Backing out with climate control. Good to go. Honks for safety. Oh, that feels good. Rounding the corner of death without incident. I can still smell that baby oil smoke smell from the machine. I don't know if it's me or if it's in here. I don't think it's in here because the smoke was out there, but I smell it. It's weird. It's one of those smells that it'll like stick with you all day. Or maybe it's on, you know what? It's on my hands from the oil. That's what it is. That's gross. All right, we're backed in. Parking's the auto. Winders up. All the way up. And of course, powering down. See you later, Mustang.